Record. Okay. So I'll just share my screen and let's start. Let's see how much we can do about this project. Right now, I'm doing small project only, but in the next few webinars, I'll be moving into more complex projects. The reason I'm doing small project because I'm just explaining the simple scenarios or simple use cases, which might be asked in interviews or which might be useful for us to understand the concepts of React. So after few, I think more 2-3 classes two, three webinars I'll be doing on these, simple projects. Later I'll be moving to complex projects. So when we move to complex project, we'll be using the concepts like context API, Redux, and all those stuff. So that will be more interesting because we'll be creating a lot of very good looking projects and very cool projects. Okay. So this project is all about creating kind of a tab-like structure and then a lot of data that we need when clicking on the tabs. We need a lot of data, right? So this small project will be can be asked in can be asked for interviews, because in an interview 30-40 minutes of machine coding round will be there. I think the second or third round, first couple of rounds will be DSA round, and maybe third round will be a platform kind of round where the React or Angular or Node or any platform based project, they will be giving you 30-45 minutes. You can solve the project. So this kind of question can come in to that. Or if you are just a fresher learning React from scratch, beginner, then this kind of project will help you a lot. Okay. So what we'll do is that let's see the data first, and then I will explain how to render this particular data. Simple project, nothing complex about it. So let me paste this data first, and let me. So basically, the data looks like something like this. We have an ID, an order, a title of a developer, whether full stack developer, front end engineer, anything. I think 3 employees are there, and they have the dates from when to when they are as an employee, and what are the duties that they do in their working environment, and what is the company. So simple employees list is there. We have to use this employees list, and we have to render it, but in a tabular format. That means I click on a particular person's name. For example, I click on Tommy. I have to see the details of Tommy. If I click on Big Drop, I have to see the details of Big Drop. It is in that manner. Okay. So this is a simple data, and then we will try to do that. Okay. So this project can be done in plain HTML, CSS, JavaScript also, not a problem. But we will try to do in React. Okay. Okay. So I already have the URL. I'll just remove these things which I had written for my own information, which you don't need. Let the URL be there because we'll be using the URL. Okay. Now I'm having the app.js file. Vijay, are you aware of little of React? Little, you know about React?
Yeah, very much. I'm aware of React.
Now, simple is a scaffolding application. Sorry, it starts from the app.js basically, but in Angular we are having something called the main.ts is there, where we are having bootstrapping. The application happens in Angular in the main.ts file, where it takes the app module, and in the module there is an app component and all those stuff are there. But in React it is primarily very simple. Like we are having the app.js file, which is a initial component who starts, and there will always say index.js, and in index.js we'll be having the root element where we'll be attaching. So those things we know. So I'll not go into those things. Okay. So I'll not go into those things. Hi Asutosh. Now what we'll do is that we will just simple create the let me create this class name is container. Okay. And inside the container everything should remain. Okay. Basically, first what we'll do is that we will be having the so basically we have a button container where we'll be having these tabs.
Yeah.
And then we are having the data inside it. So basically 2 different divs we need, one for the buttons, one for the data. Simple. Okay. So I'll just have a div with a class as button container. Okay. Sorry, it is not working. And since it doesn't work for me, I don't know why. Okay, so class name as btn container. Okay. Now this button container is over. Now we'll create one more div. Okay. With a class name of data. maybe employee data. Simple. Okay. Now what we'll do is that in the button container, I'll be having the list of buttons related to the data that we have to show. But first of all, we have to fetch the data, then only you can show it, right? So for fetching the data, what is the process of fetching the data? So if I do everything in one component, how it will do? If I do create small components and try to do it in a separate manner, how it will look, will show. Okay. First, I'll do everything in this particular component, then I will create separate component and move this content over there. Okay. That is the how a scalable application is built, basically creating different components, right? Now, to fetch the data, we have to use the use effect because using use effect. So what is the use of use effect? Use effect is basically used to do like the name suggests side effects. Side effects means maybe DOM manipulation, maybe any local storage, session storage kind of stuff where you are storing some data, or API calls, which is not related to the component rendering phase that we call a side effect. Okay, and it is always rendered first time or once whenever the application is rendering in your screen. That is one. And whenever you want it to change, basically when you want to give a separate, when you, so basically this brackets is there, right? So the bracket signifies that if you write something in the bracket, if that particular variable's value changes, then the particular component will be rendered again, or which means that use effect will be called again, which changes the state. That means it changes the it renders the component again, which means that there is something called reconciliation in React, wherein React uses the virtual DOM. Basically, it takes a copy of the real DOM and creates a object like format that is called a virtual DOM. And whenever any state or any property related to that particular DOM object, big object changes, it creates another virtual DOM. Because it is creating another virtual DOM, so the component is re-rendering, and we see the new version of the UI. That is the process called reconciliation. Okay, theoretical concept, but that is how the use effect will do. Now here we'll do what we'll do is that we will do fetch maybe fetch employees data. Okay, now this function what it will do is that, let's call this function first, on fetch employees data. Now this function what it will do is, what happened here? Okay, I've not written here function. Okay, I can take a arrow function. Oh, I was thinking of doing an arrow function. I did like this. Okay. Now this will, what it will do is that we can use Axios. Okay. We can use the Axios and pass the URL. Okay, so Axios is not installed. Or we can use direct fetch only. So let's use fetch and fetch this particular URL. And fetch, what it does is that it returns an promise. So we have to wait for the result. Okay. So if I'm returning a promise, const response. Okay. So if I'm writing here await, which means that this function should be asynchronous function, because what it is written, await expressions are only allowed within async functions and at the top level of modules, which means that if I'm doing an asynchronous task, which in this case is a API call, I am waiting for the result. So await means that I'm waiting for the result of this API call that I'm doing. And await as a keyword will be used only when something called async keyword is used in this function. Okay, this much clear, right, Vijay? So if I have to use await, so there are a lot of other ways of doing the same,
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm following what you're saying.
So we can use promises also to do this. We use callbacks to also do this. Modern way of doing this is using async await, which is very simple. Two keywords we use. We use async for doing the asynchronous call, and await is waiting for it. Now this response, if you hover over it, this guy, what it does is that it will receive. So if I just do a log of this response, then let's do a log of the response, you will see that it will return a promise. Okay. Now when I save over here, this is my tab. Let me close. Okay. Let me close this guy. I'll just do a right click and I will check to show you that what it returns. Basically, it will return a promise. Now, since it will, let me show you first. So if I refresh this, it will this fetch employee data will be called again, and then in the log it will do a API call, and then we will see that okay, it is still compiling. Okay, got it. Okay, let it get compiled. So basically, okay, it got compiled. Okay, why it is saying failed to fetch? Okay, let me show you. Okay, it got compiled. So basically, okay, it got compiled. So basically, okay, it got compiled. Okay, why it is saying failed to fetch? Okay, why it is saying failed to fetch? Okay, let me show you. Okay, it got compiled. So basically, okay, it got compiled. So basically, Okay, it is saying it is blocked by course. Okay, there is the problem with the Axios. Okay, what we'll do is that let's install sometimes there is a problem with fetch. So we can install Axios directly and we can do all this stuff in the Axios. So Axios is a way of doing the same thing what fetch as a browser API does. So I'll just do npm install Axios, simple. So when I install Axios, I can do the same thing using Axios and it will give the kind of same response, but we don't have to, return the, okay, it got installed. Now I'll just change this to Axios. So now I do not understand what is Axios, so I have to import Axios over here. Okay, so in that case, I have to import Axios. So import.
No, I'm aware of Axios, like I have worked on it.
Mm-hmm.
We had to do web services for, you use React and link with Java in the backend for web services. So I have done on Axios.
Why Axios is not getting this? It is installed, right? Oh, why it is not there in the dependencies? Where it got installed? Oh, okay, it installed at the wrong place. Okay. Anyway, we can do a simple thing. Second. It got installed in the wrong place. It got installed somewhere here. Yeah. Okay. These are all advanced projects we'll be doing next. Okay, so let it get installed. Let's do our work. So basically, this here what it will do is, okay, let it be there. So here what it will do is that Access will again return a promise. So in this case, we have to do a response of JSON to fetch the data directly. Okay, so now it got installed right correctly. Let's see. If it's not getting installed correctly, then it is no point in moving ahead. Yeah, it got installed correctly. Okay, so now when I write here Axios, it should import it. Okay, so Axios from Axios is got imported. Okay, now if I save it, okay. Oh, I have not enabled all those stuff. Okay. So we are getting the course. This is because I have not enabled over there. So yeah. Okay, anyway, we just need the data, so not a problem. We just take a copy of the data and then will have in our local repository and then we'll try to do it. We shouldn't depend on this stuff to stop our work. Okay. So I'll just take this guys and okay. Some okay, so then there is no point in doing Axios here. Okay, so now what we are trying to do is, okay, we have supposed to do Axios, but already we are there. That means we don't need this part and we don't need this function call also. This also don't need. Anyway, so now we have the data directly. So we have to get the data and then we have to show in the screen, right? So I'll just create a this employee. So I'll just create a data and this is set data. And I'll just do use state. The initial data that I'll be giving an empty empty data. So or maybe I'll just use the employee data if I just directly get. So here, if I just want to show this particular data, what I have to do is I have to do something like this. Let's close. Let's get down. So here I have to do is data, and I have to map over the data, and I will tell that, okay, I get the employee. And now what I have to do is that I have to return. So in the return, I have to show the data, right? So I have to just write here just create a simple div. Okay. So I'm telling that, okay, I'm returning a particular JSX content is what I'm telling to React, and React will take this particular JSX content, convert it to, proper HTML DOM, and then it will do its stuff. Okay. Now here I have to show what individual employee, right? So I'll just write here, maybe just let's see what we get, whether we are getting or not. That also don't know, right? So I'll just write here employee, simple employee dot idl. Just let's see if I'm getting this or not. So I'm getting this in the screen, which means that our everything is working. Okay, I'm getting this ID, which means that it is working. Let me close this, guys. Okay, which is this much is working. But what we want is that we want to see everything else, which means that I have to see the name of this particular person, the date, the duties, and all this stuff I have to see, right? So I have to see the, first of all, let's see the name. So that is the company, right? Employee.company. Okay. So this div is there, right? So let me write the class name properly. So I just write here employee. And here I will just write, what else is there? Title is there, and then dates is there from when to when, and the company is there, and duties is there. So title, dates, and duties is enough. Title, dates, and duties, right? So I'll just create one more div. Details. So I'll just write here the title. Just write here employee dot title. Okay. If I say over here how it is looking right now. Okay, great. Okay. So one more paragraph. I'll just do here employee dot dates, right? Now it is looking in this manner, right? Okay. Now, then comes the our duties part. So that will be something like this. So I'll be having this div. Okay. So, and this last name will be duties. Okay. And here in the duties, since I'm having an array, which means that I have to iterate through it, right? So I just write here duties, but we don't have duties, right? So in that case, what I have to do is we have to have destructure that particular array. So this one will have what? I'll write here duties equals to employee dot duty. So like this, I can directly write duties in that case, right? So dot map I will do. Why it is not coming? It is an array only, right? Yeah, so then why it is not coming? Okay. Anyway, it is, since it is not coming, so why it is not coming? It should come. Map should work here. Anyway, employee dot duties dot map. Destructure doesn't works in this case. Okay. So here I have to return the list of duties. So since this is a list of duties, I have to write a div. So I just, so duties I'll just write a duty here. And here, let me see what is there in the duty first, right? So if I save over here, okay, I see a big duty over here, which will be, resolving. Okay, so this is the entire data that we are seeing right now, right? And this we have to arrange in a proper manner. Now I have written everything in one component in the app only, which shouldn't be, okay, which means that we have to change this. Later we can change it, but let's do the styling and everything, then we can move it to the separate component. Okay, or else we can do now also, not a problem. So basically for the duties, I can create a separate component. Let's create one component. Duties.jsx. Okay, simple. So here I'll just write here RFCE. I create a functional component that is called duties. Always the component name should begin with capital D, sorry, capital letter, never with small letters. So here what I will do is that I will move this guy from here and to here. Okay, simple. Save over here. Now it doesn't understand what is this employees is, right? So I have to use this component over here. Okay, so duties, I'll just use the component. I have to pass the employees as a props. Employees as the prop called employees. Okay, so wait. Dot employees. I think we have to pass employee, not employees. What I've written over here, employee dot it is correct. Okay, so these we have to pass. So these props now should be available in the duties over here. So I'll just write here employee. So now this prop is available. So now this will work. But there is one more issue. Okay, duties we have to import it. So we'll go above and import duties. I have to fix this access part. I'm facing this problem long back. Import duties. Okay. Now, if we save, this should work. Let's save this. There shouldn't be any problem. Do we see any problem? Compiled. Yeah, so no problem. So it is, everything's working. Okay, now one more thing we can do. Okay, so that is what we'll do is, so this component I move. Now what to do is this employee data also, this part also we can move to a separate component, is what I'm thinking. Because this is becoming a very large, I don't want it to be too large. So let's create an employee data component. Employee data, or let's create for then we can do it. So I'll go over here and click on this. So the file name can be small, but the component name should be capital letters. So I'll just write RAFCE. The employee data is created. So I'll just write here this capital E. Employee data is created. Now what I will do is, let's close this guy. Duties is not needed. FJS I'll go. I will cut this particular part from here. Now you'll see how, if we move, what the problem will happen. Right? So this is ending there. Yeah. Okay. Now what we'll do is that we'll move this guy to here. Okay. So we'll just create a React fragment, because that is important now. I don't want to create a separate div. That is the reason React fragment is important. Now this data, we have to get it, and we have to import duties also. So I'll just write here duties here, and this data will be getting it from here. So I have to pass this particular employee data from here till here, right? And as a prop, I'll pass the data equals to this data particular data that I am getting, right? Okay, now it is saying that I don't know what you are passing, and it is saying that employee data, I don't know what is employee data. So we have to import the employee data. Employee data. So we have imported the employee data. Now let's move this component over here. Okay. Now here we are getting the data. So I just pass the data over here as prop. So I am to get the data over here. Now I think everything should work because we've done a lot of changes now. Okay, so let's see. Nothing, no problem should happen, else we'll be in very bad state. Did it compile? Yes, it compiled properly, so everything is successful. Vijay, understood this one? How I created everything in one component and then I moved it to separate.
Yeah, I'm able to follow.
You are able to follow or not able to follow?
No, I'm able to follow.
Okay, okay. So this is a simple thing. How we are breaking bigger component to smaller component was my motive to do this one. Okay, now so everything is ready. Now what we do is that we have to do it, arrange this everything nicely. Okay, that's our next goal. So first of all, what we'll do is we have these particular button, right? So we have to create the 3 buttons over here. And I want to create this button. Okay, what we'll do is that we'll create a separate, okay, this is an employee data, right? So we don't want to create a separate div. Why to create a separate div? Creating div is not good. We can code the employee data, have this as a div, and make this as a div container, right? So we don't have to get rid of this div. We don't need this div. So I'll just simple. No, similarly, button container also I don't want it. I'll just replace with one more button container. Okay. So let's create one button container. So this is a button container dot jsx. Okay. Now this button container dot jsx will RFCE. So this creates the button container. Let's make a capital letter. Okay, and we will have the class name here as btn container. Hi Srinivas. I'll make this as btn container. Srinivas, you won't understand anything, but just stay in the call and see, okay, what we are doing. So this button container, now we have to have the, okay, so this is a button container, right? So let's see whether we are, okay, I have not imported this guy. Okay, so we need the button container over here only, right? Yes, Srinivas, any doubt? Anything want to know? Right.
Sir,
Tell me.
actually, I don't know JS part, so
Yeah, that's the reason I'm telling you.
I actually joining for CU.
Yes, yes. You just stay in the call and see what we are doing. Okay.
Okay.
So we are having 3 webinars we'll be doing. So today is React, tomorrow is CSS JavaScript, and then on Sunday I'm doing DSS system design. Okay. Everything is important for you, Srinivas. So just you will learn everything. Just attend 3, 4, 5 webinars every week. Not, I mean, in the couple of weeks you attend, you will get 6 chances to learn, right? So attend every webinar live, okay? Then you will get to learn a lot of things. Now, I'm having this button container. I have to pass the data to the button container so that I can see all these buttons, right? So what to do? Let's close this, guys. Which I don't want. I have to close everything. Now, how to pass data from the parent to the child? So this is the child. This is the parent. I have JS. How to pass it? So we have to pass what? Again, I have to pass the data only because I have to extract the I have to extract the buttons from here. So I have to make it dynamic. So in this case, I'll be getting the data over here again. Okay. And in the data over here, I have to iterate to the data, and then I have to take the maybe what is there in that. Maybe I'll just tell right, not title. What is there here? Let's see. I'm having the company, right? So let's take the company. So company, what we want here is we have to return buttons, right? I have to return here button. Okay. And this button name will be, okay, so data group company. Okay, I just write here company, not company. I will just write here item. Okay, so I'll just write here item dot. Let's see how it looks first. So the 3 button got created, right? So now whenever I click on tummy, I should see only related to tummy. When I click on big drop, I should see data related to big drop. Now everything is visible, right? We have to do like that. But before we go there, we have to arrange this guy properly right now, right? So now we're ready for the styling part. Okay. So let's see what is there in the styling part. First of all, this container is there. Let's style the container first. Okay. So let's go to the index.css. Let's see what is there. Oh, I've written a lot of things already. So we'll just remove it, and then we have to write it from scratch. Okay. So I've just written here a lot of things. Okay, let me remove everything and let everything from scratch again. Okay. No change. Okay, let's start. Container. So the container, let's make it smaller so that we'll see how it looks in the mobile. Okay. So mobile screen will be something like this, right? This much. Okay, yeah. Then we'll move for tabs and then finally for desktop. Okay. So the container. So now how to bring everything to the center? Simple. I'll just do margin 0 and auto. Yeah. So everything should be have been arranged at the center, but it's not arranging. Why it is not arranging? Let's see. Let me give some height also to this. I think height will be there. Margin, let's give something around 50 pixel from the top and bottom. Let's see. Okay, so that means it is working. Okay. Okay. So everything should be display as flex and flex as column. Flex direction as column, and height is 100 VH. Now everything is cool. Width, let's give the width right now to be 90 VW. Okay, so it will take 90% of the available width. So now it is looking in this manner. Okay. Now it is good. Okay. Now it is okay. And here I will just give align items as, I don't need the align item because I don't want to arrange it vertically. Justify content as center. Okay. So this will make everything to center. That is okay. That is great. This is great. Okay. But okay, now container part is over. I think we don't need anything in the container anymore. But let's go to next. What we'll do is this employee data is there, right? So we will arrange this particular employee data format, right? So let's go to the employee data now. Or what is left? Button container employee. Okay, let's go to the button container. Where the button container? Let's see what is there in the button container. We are having a button container, right? So just write like this, dot button container. Okay. Now in this button container, what I want? Where is the button container, by the way? I don't see it. It went somewhere else when I wrote, I think, display flex. Can you see it? Where it is? This is the container. Okay, button container is not visible yet because we've not given the height and width properly, right? Okay, so let's give height for these. I don't know, maybe 10 BH. I don't see it or where it went. So you have to give the okay container margin and everything. Okay, and then this is the employee data, that is also fine. Button container is not visible. Why? Why not visible? Okay, anyway, we'll see. I think this is the reason when we give flex direction, no? So as column, no, that is the problem happens. Let's see, remove it. Let's check. So by default, flex direction, if we do column, then it is not visible, right? Because I have given this margin as 50 pixel, maybe for that it is not visible. Flex direction as you don't give this also, it will work, but still. So what we'll do is that we'll not give this part. Okay, this part will not be. So let it be normal only. We'll do something so that it will come to the center nicely. We'll do. Okay. Okay. So I'll just for now I'll just give as 50 pixel so that we'll have some gap, and we'll do something on the button container first. Okay. Okay. So here I'll just so inside the button controller, what is that? Inside the button controller, we are having the buttons, right? So I'll just give display as flex. Simple by display flex, it is becoming larger here, and flex direction will be a row. That is not a problem. I'll just write here text align a center of what? Center of its parent. So it will move to the center is what I'm expecting, but it's not moving. Okay. Okay. No problem. Justify content as center. So everything, all the buttons move to the center of the screen. Yeah. Right now. Right. And let's give a gap. 10 pixels between them so that there will be a gap between these buttons. Okay, nice. Now what we can do is I will give a margin bottom everywhere. So margin bottom as 10 pixels. Okay, so there is a gap between this. Okay, let's increase it to 50 pixels. Okay, there is a proper gap now. Now what we'll do? Now we can style this particular button. So let's see what we've given or not given anything, right? So let's class name as BTN. Okay, let's save this guy and dot BTN. Okay. I will just give a color of S. Let's give a background color. Background color. So I just write here where what we are having. Background color should be light red. So let's give a green light as lighter one. Okay. And color should be little darker, right? So color should be where how this looks. No change. So we have to give some different color. Gray 1 to 8. Let's see. No, this also doesn't look so. Let's keep it 5. This is okay. Next, what you could do is we'll just give a border radius. Border radius of 5 pixels. This part is important. Okay. Now border radius is 5 pixels is good. And let me give a padding of 16 pixel top, bottom, and right, left is 32 pixel. Okay. Let's see how it looks first. Oh, it become very big. Okay, no problem. I don't want any border, so I'll just write here border as a none. Okay, I don't want to see any borders. Okay, great. Now what we'll do is why it is like this. Anyway, So what we'll do is text align as center so that everything comes to the center. Let me make it a little bigger and let's check why this is looking in this manner. Okay, green color is for padding. Also, I've given green color, so maybe for that result is not visible properly. Okay. Anyway, we'll solve that problem, no problem. Okay, let's give some box shadow so that it will look good. Okay, so horizontally, I don't want anything, but vertically, I want something. So I'll just give 2 pixel and little blur effect. I'll give 3 pixel blur effect, and color should be where this is green color, right? Let's give little darker. Let's see how it looks. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is good. Let's increase this blur to, okay, let's give, should we give one more color? Let's give one more color for the box shadow. Okay, same. I'll just write here comma. I'll write here 0 pixel. This should be little bigger, 15 pixel, and this should be little more, 50 pixel. I'll make blur, and the color should be little bit other colors, which can be a dark gray 10. Let's see how it looks. Okay, what happened here? Is it getting implemented or not? I think the color is not proper. Yes. One. But it is looking like it is floating, right? We don't want so much, right? So I'll just decrease this guy to 20 pixel. It is becoming too much dark, right? If I just decrease to 10 pixel, it will become more darker. Don't want this. Let's say blur effect be 15 pixel. Vertically, I can reduce this to 5 pixel. Okay, this much is okay. All right. I can write here inset. If I just write here inset, it will this will come internally also. It came internally, so what you don't want, right? Now this much is okay. This is fine. Okay, so now we'll color these portions. It is looking like it is floating. Okay, we'll make this also in that manner so that it will look similar. Okay. This much is for you are following, right? Vijay and Srinivas, what I'm doing over here.
Yeah, I'm just observing it. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do the font size part. What is there in font size? I don't know. So many things are written over here. Not color, fixed width, radius, transition, nothing there. Okay, I've not written fixed width. I've not written for font size. So let's write the function directly. Okay, so 18 pixel is the font size. And let's reduce it to 12. And font weight should be little bolder. Okay, and font family will be Times New Roman. Okay, and text transform should be uppercase, which is already here. I just want to make it a little bit more bolder. Let's make it 800. Okay, anyway, now this is looking okay, right? Okay, so now let's move to this portion. Okay, so this portion button container is over. We'll just close the button container. We don't need to style this. Okay, we can do one thing whenever, okay, and on hover I have to do some changes, right? So in this case, what I will do is that cursor as pointer. Cursor as pointer. So when I do this, what happens? When I hover over it, this pointer the cursor should be changed to pointer. Okay, and when I click this button, I want to. Okay, we'll do that later. No problem. Okay, let's close this button now. We will look into the employees. Okay, let's close this guy. Let's go to the employee data. So in employee data, we are having a class name called employee data, right? So let's bring this guy here. Employee data dot employee data. Now employee data is the container, right? This is the entire container. So inside the container, I'm having all the details, right? So what we have to do? The idea should be ideally we have to have the duties, and then okay, we can do one thing. Full stack developer is there, and this guy is there. Over here, I can bring this guy to the right. Okay, we'll see. But let's first do the main part. Okay, so display flex. Okay. Okay, so everything got arranged in a row like question, but I don't want that. So flex direction will be same column. Okay, so everything goes back to normal. Then I'll just bring here justify content as center. So horizontal will be aligned in the center. Okay, and let's close this guy here. Okay, and vertically also I want this to be center, vertical and items as center. Right, so okay, it's not anything because we already at the center, right? Okay, the main part is we have to show this in a card-like fashion because already we have given proper box header to this guy. I want to give this in a proper card-like fashion. Okay, then only it will look good, else it will not look good at all. So, which means that individually what we are having, I'm having this employee now. So to this employee now, you see how it will look good. Okay, just carefully what I'm doing. So this employee is there. So this employee, what I want to do is. So employee data I have given display. Wait. Let me think. Okay. So here everything should be in a proper manner. Any margin is needed. Obviously, I'll just keep margin. Margin what to give, right? So 8 pixel, little not much margin I'll give. 8 pixel, and that is okay on the left side. If I don't give, I'm just thinking whether I should give or not. Okay, let's give 16 pixel on the left, right? So if please come to give it on the right side, yeah. Okay, so padding also, let's not give padding. Why to give too much padding? So now border, do you need a border? Border is transparent. Okay, I'll just change the background color to something else now. A little bit of background color. I'll just make it as white. Okay, background color is white, and box shadow. Now you see horizontally I want 0, not 0. I want 2 pixel, but there is there on the right side, or maybe I don't want it 0. I'll do vertically. I want 3 pixel. Okay, and the blur effect will be around, I don't know, maybe 30 pixel, and the color should be now interesting. Little bit of darker color. Okay, let's see how it looks at this one. Okay, this is okay, right? This is okay, but what we have to do is border radius will be by pixel. Okay, very good. Margin, border, background color, box shadow. We can give a gradient kind of thing, like I can have multiple color also, blue, green, but gradient is not needed here much. Okay, so I'm just thinking I can give a image also in the background, so that will also look good, but we don't need that. I think this much is okay, but let's arrange this text properly. Okay, so just right here, display flex. Okay, that is okay. This is okay. We have to just arrange it nicely. Right direction as column. Okay, again comes back. Justify content as center. Okay. And then I need some padding now. I'm telling I need some padding here. Padding is 8 pixel at the top, again 16 pixel the left, right. Okay. This is okay. This is great. Okay. And then items already centered, so then item, let's do it again. Okay. Everything is a center. Maybe I'll just not do center, I'll just do flex start. Flex start. So it comes back to the position here. Okay. Now, what else we can do? Flex wrap. Let's wrap it so that it doesn't move properly. This is great. How it look when I make it big? Oh, it looks so bad. Okay. Anyway, what we've done is little okay because the content is different over here. So I can just solve that problem by just giving a max width. So let's write a max width of 90%. Okay. In this case, what will happen is it will adjust the max width to be 90% of its available width. Okay. This can be adjusted properly. We'll do later. Let's not waste our time over that. Okay. And this is looking manageable right now. Okay. Now, what we have to do is whenever I'm clicking over this particular Tommy, I am to see only Tommy details. When I'm clicking on big drop, I want to see only big drop. Right now, everything is visible, right? Which we don't want. We have to see whatever whenever we are clicking this. Okay. So, which means that let's move to the JavaScript. A lot of CSS we've written. Let's move this JavaScript past a little bit. Okay. So whenever I click on Tommy, I have to see only Tommy details, not big drop or Kirker details, right? So in that case, what I'm trying to say is this button is there, right? On clicking on the button, something should happen, right? So I'll just write it on click. And on clicking of the button, I have to pass the ID of this particular item, right? Because every item has the ID. And I want to show the particular ID, that details of that particular ID. So that means I have to pass the data, this particular ID information from this button container to what? To this employees, right? So I have to pass the data from the button container to the employee data container. And both are siblings because in app.js, employee button container and employee data are siblings. So how to pass data between sibling components? How to pass? Basically, we can pass the data, the information to this app, and from the app we can pass like this. Okay, because app becomes parent to both of them. We can pass the data to the from the button container to the app, and from the app to the employee. Like that, we can do it. Simple. Okay. Where here. So here, when I'm clicking over here, I'll just what I will do is that I will write an arrow function, or we can write a function itself. Inside that function, I'll just write here set. Okay, so I just write here set item selected to be the item dot ID. So what is there inside the item? Item dot company is there, right? So item dot ID should also be there. Dot ID. Okay. So this item dot ID set item selected. So this set item selected is not, I'm just passing this value. So how to pass value from the child to the parent? How to pass it? So from the parent to the child. So here is the parent app.js and btn container is the child component. So we used props to pass it. Similarly, we can use props to pass data from the child to parent. That means from button container to app.js, I can pass it. How? Same using props, right? So I am just set item selected as a props. Okay. And this prop, I have to use it over here also. Okay. So set item selected, I have to use here also. And I'm saying that whenever I'm using the props, you just do the set item selected. I'll just create one state here and I just want to update it. Okay. One second. So that is a function that I created. Okay, which means that I have to create one state variable over here. So that state will be item selected. This is set item selected. This will be item selected. Finger crossed this should work. Okay. Use state, and initially let's make it as 0. Okay, let's see what are the different IDs. Okay, with these IDs are there. Okay, so initially I'll just make the ID as this ID or employees data dot first ID. I'll just do employees of 0 dot first ID. Okay, so I'll just initially I want to see only okay first, and whenever I modify it, that particular okay. So right now, let's see if this will work or not. I'm not sure whether it will work or not. But, we'll solve the problems if it something happens. Let me compile. Is it compiling? One more problem we are having. So it is not working because we have not filtered, right? We are showing everything in the employee data. So everything I'm passing through data now, we have to filter it and we have to show it, right? So in this case, what we have to do is we have to const filter data. Okay. So this guy, what it will do is it will filter the existing data, which in this case is this data over here. And so data dot filter, I'll pass the item. So what we are expecting is I want to get everything which have this particular item dot ID triple equals to what? Triple equals to the item selected. Now this filter will give a new array, and now this array will be stored inside the const filtered data. This data will be stored inside the, so we have to store it in the set data. So in the set data, I will have the filtered data. So initially I'll get the initial value. So let's see what I'll get. Is it wrong? Why nothing is working? What happened here? Okay, some error is there. Okay, so it is expecting these keys and everything, that is okay, but what is happening? Okay, it is saying duties should have a proper key. Let's add some keys to the duties. So the duties is there, right? So I'll just pass the index over here and make the index as the key. Ideally, we should not make the index as key. Yeah, so this will be gone. And for it also it is saying like this. No, my question is why initially only Tommy is not visible, everything is coming. That is the problem that we are having right now, right? Okay, so let's debug it. I'm having FJS, I'm having button cutting. Let's close this guy. I'm having the employee data. Not here, everything is over here, right? So initially, okay, data is employee data. Oh, filter data, where we are calling? We're not calling here, right? It means that we have to call this guy over here. Now it will work, I think. So multiple rendering has happened. So this is a problem React limits the number of renders to infer. So it is saying that you are doing multiple rendering because we are just directly setting the data over here. The other reason it is happening multiple data, right? So whenever we are okay, we shouldn't do the set data over. So this, whenever this error comes, what happens is that you should be mainly doing you're updating the state in this function. When you update the state inside the function, whenever the state gets updated, it will force, because a new virtual DOM will be formed, so it will render this component again. So when it renders the component again, use effect will be called again. So again the filter data will be called. So again the state will be modified. So that's the reason it is preventing. This is saying that you are doing multiple rendering, so you can't do like this. It is saying. Okay. So which in this case we can't do the filter data in this filter data in this manner. What we have to do is I'm just thinking. We can't update the state over here also, because if you update it over here also, it will create that same problem, right? So ideally we do in the Axios. So since we are not doing it, whenever we do the access call, we get the result, and then we are doing the set data. Right now this is not the case because our access is not working, right? So what we can do? So ideally we have to pass the filter data over here. Filter data, what is filter data? Filtered data. Not filter data, filtered data. Okay, so in this case, we can call the filter data from here, which will return that technique we have to use now, right? Or we can just do a direct return because our access is not working, so to do in this manner. Okay, so in this case, we don't need to call this over here, and our rendering problem will go away. Now, so right. Initially, when I call the filter data, I'm getting the initial ID that I have selected, item ID is equal to item selected. So initially I have selected the item selected as 0, right? So that's the reason I'm saying Tommy. But when I click on this, I should say big Tommy. It's working. Right? Now everything is working properly. But you see, one problem is still there. Is whenever I'm clicking over here, it is not looking like it is. So obviously this is changing, but this is not looking like I'm clicking itself, right? So I can do some CSS part here so that some change should happen, right? Else it should look like I'm clicking. No. So what we can do is, what is this button name? Employee, not employee. This button is there, right? Button. Now what I can do is, when I'm hovering over this button, not like this, it's not a pseudo elements, right? When I'm hovering over this button, I just need to change this color. Okay, so some keyframes we can use for do we need to use keyframes? No, not needed. I'll just change the background color a little bit. Okay, background color should be a little darker. Just write here where dark green, and color should be light green. Just reverse will do. Simple. Okay, let's see. So when I'm hovering over it, it is happening, but it is, yeah, it is, this is good, right? Okay. Now, one more problem is there. Whenever I'm clicking, this is changing, but whenever I'm clicking, and I'm removing. So whenever I've clicked, I have to show that I've clicked, these particular buttons should be active, right? So in this case, we have to add some active class so that it remains in that state. Because here, when I'm removing it, we don't know what we've clicked, right? Only when I click in a separate tab, that should go away, right? That is how every active button, how to make a particular button active, which means that if I click on this button, it should look like a. So if I'm clicking Tommy, I see Tommy, but it doesn't look like I have clicked this button. It is not an active button right now. So I have to make this particular button active, right? So for that, ideally I don't plan for a webinar. I go with the flow. Whatever problem I face, I'm doing like that, right? So for making, so there is something called class names. You can import, install class names to that, but using class also you can, class names I'm telling, that also you can do. So what I'm trying to say is that if I have clicked it, which means that this button is active, right? So in that case, I have to add the, so I just use button and active if I have, yeah, I'm not remembering exact syntax, but let me recall, I think. So if it is active, then I have button with active, else I have only button. Yeah, that is correct. This is the correct syntax. Okay, so now I have to know that whether it is active or not. So if I clicked something, then I make it active, right? So I'll just set active. Okay, set active button. So this becomes true. Okay. So in this case, I have to create one use state. So const active button. Okay. So use state always gives return set. Yeah, Vijay, tell me.
No, I'm just watching it.
So initially, this will be false because nothing is active, right? Or maybe the first one will be active, right? That we know. So this won't be set active. This will be active button. Okay. So initially, okay, let's see first whether it's working or not. Then only we can do something. Okay, but when we are rendering it, okay, let's see first. Let's see whether this is working first. Okay, so which means that I have to, okay, let's check whether the active class is getting added. Then only you can do something now. Else we can't do anything. All the three become active. See, that is the problem. So when okay, if I click on Tommy, Tommy should become active. But all the three are active is getting added in all the three, right? Why it is becoming like this? Because okay, because set active button is there for all the buttons, so that's the reason for every button is getting activated. Yeah, this is one more problem. So which button I'm clicking, that button should be activated, not all the button, right? So how to solve that? And you have to remove the active button, active classes in others, which means that we have to check the IDs also. So which means that, so if it is active, and one more thing I have to write here, and item.id is there, right? So okay, this has become more complex now. I did not think that it will be too complex. Because this set active button is there for every button, na? So that's the reason it is everyone, for every button the active class is getting added. So which one we want, only that will be getting added. So there is one more way of doing it. Is there any ID? Okay, one more way we can do. Let's add one key and then do. Okay, so that is also one more technique. Okay, anyway, let me think about it. We shouldn't waste any time. But yeah, that is the one problem here. So since this particular is there at every button, so everything ready. So what you have to do is that whenever this particular set item selected is getting activated, na, at that time, whatever okay, for that particular ID only that should be activated. Okay. But how I will know this particular ID which is getting activated? We are having the dollar event dot target dot event dot target dot class list or toggle. We can do it. Okay. Anyway, well, now let's not waste time. Let me think about it later, and then maybe we'll do. Oh, this is a missed opportunity. We could have done this. Okay. Anyway, so this is one problem when we are doing it live, but this should have been done easily. Anyway, so next, what we can do is active is there. Okay, this nothing more we can do because this is the only thing that is pending. Okay, so there is this particular duties now. So for this duties also we can do something. Okay, I am having this particular Chevron is this particular icon is there. Let's add that icon to this duties. Okay. This icon we can add. This will look good. Okay, so let's go to the duties part. So in the duties, this is the duty. So I'll just write a paragraph of this duty. And let's bring this guy inside. Sorry. Okay. But here I can add this particular where it went. Here I can paste this guy and I can use this angle bracket over here. Okay. Let's see how it looks. Okay, nice. This is looking nice, but this is not looking as nice as I thought it should look. Okay. Why? Because it should be next to this guy. This class name duty is there. So what have given the duty? Oh, we've not given anything in duties. Okay, so let's do this duties one nicely. Inside the duties, we are having this duty to everything, right? Okay. Okay, so duties we don't need anything, but duty we can do a lot of stuff. So let's give this duty display. With display flex only, everything will be arranged nicely. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's give a gap of 20 pixels so that it will look good. Okay, nice. This is already looking good only. Here what we'll do is for this particular thing, I can add one class name. Class name. But icon, I just write here icon. Okay. So for this icon, what I want is height width will give so that it will look little good. Height is 30 pixel. But it's not increasing. Why? Because it's an inline block, I think. Maybe for that reason the height width doesn't works on a SVG icons. How it will work? How it will work? Okay, great. So let's see how it looks right now. The only thing is that this one did not work. I was expecting this to work. Right. Everything is working properly. Only thing is active did not work. Okay, but this is not responsive properly, right? Because when this is for mobile, it is okay. But for desktop, I want to just change this design to something else. It shouldn't be in this. I want this guy to come at this place, right? Because for desktop, it doesn't looks good, right? So how to do that? For that, we have to write media queries. Then only we can do that. Else it will not work. So at media screen and okay, this should be inside. I forget the syntax also. So till the max width is 992 pixel. No, it should be mean, not max. So mean width when it is 992 pixel, what I want is the display should be changed to from column to row, right? So this container is there, right? So the container should be changed, not container, button container should change to obviously container and button container both will change, but button container, this display flex is there. I just want to make it in a row-like fashion, right? So what I will do is let's copy both of these guys. Okay. Let's see whether we are able to do it properly or not. Okay, so it is margin 50 pixel auto was there, right? Auto height is 100 here. This is okay. This is okay. Width is 90 VW, right? So this is also fine. No problem. I want to make it 100 because and height should be 100. That is okay. Margin 50 pixel will be too much from the top button. Let's make it 20. Okay. But this guy, button container, which has, okay, we don't have this anything here. Okay, yeah, button container should be display flex and flex direction should be column. Now this should be, and here this also I don't want it in this manner. Display flex. Let's see how it will look. So it is there till here. So when I change it to not this one. This guy will change to 992 pixel. Let's see what will happen. So it is moving over there, but because it is moving over there, why? Because we have not done it properly, right? Okay. What's the time right now? Oh,
5 minutes. 5 minutes to 10.
Only 10 minutes are there. Okay, so to do this fast. Display flex fluctuation is row, that is okay. So most of the things has problem is over here, right? And what we'll do is justify content, because we have to do this part carefully, else it will not work. Center, let's see. It's not coming now. Okay. Now it should come. Okay, nice. And we have to give 20 pixel auto, but width is 100 BS now, so that's the reason. Let's keep the width at 95. Here's some gap. What is looking good? Tommy, big drop and guys, this one you understood, right? What I'm trying to do. So basically in mobile view it should be there at the top, and desktop view should come to the left is what my. So you might have seen this kind of website, right? Whenever
Okay, yes.
yeah, so that is maybe my plan, but time is less, so we can't do more in this. But yeah, let's try to do something more. It is already looking good only, not a problem. Okay. What else we can do? I think this is good only. I don't
So
see
from
any.
where do you get this content, like this big drop or something?
What?
This content, where do you get? Like, is there any repository, online repository where
Which content you are saying?
this whatever you have?
This one, this data.
Yeah.
Nothing. This is some dummy data. You can write some dummy data. Na? I'm just to need to. So that those APIs I have created in Node.js Express, I have created those APIs. But unfortunately, I'm not enabled course over there. So maybe for that reason, it is not getting. But that is only dummy data.
Mm-hmm.
You just need some data to show it.
Achha, some time back, like you were saying, like data passing from app.js to the child component, and you wanted to do it even reverse. You are suggesting that React.js supports two-way data binding?
Yeah, React. Every two-way data binding. If you ask me, it is a concept of Angular basically. So I update in the view, it updated in the container and update in the container. But in React also you can do same thing.
Because that is a marketing of what do you call Angular, na? Like no other React can't do that, and
No. We can do. We can do everything in React, and it is faster also. Because in Angular, the same thing happens using the what we call Zone.js, which does check the change detection. Basically, Zone.js has something called change detection in Angular. Here, we don't have change detection concept. So right now they have introduced Angular signals in Angular 17 onwards, which does this particular. It basically keeps and watches over anything, any data is changing anywhere, and then it updates everywhere that particular data we are using. In the React, we don't have this change detection concept. In React, we are having this virtual DOM now. So this virtual DOM only, so whenever you are when the state changes, a new virtual copy of a new virtual DOM comes, right? And through that, our container, it get re-rendered the new screen. So that is how it happens in React. So the transfer of data
what
between
is it? What is it? You said change DTS.
change detection in Angular.
Change detection. Okay.
In Angular, there is something called change detection.
Achha.
But
So
in
what is
React,
it that you have in Angular and you cannot do it in React? What would you suggest?
we have in Angular, but we can't do in React. There is nothing like that. Everything you can do in React. And it is
Then why do
faster.
you?
Why do we need? Why do we need? If you want to create smaller application, faster development, use React. If you want to you have a stable, scalable, big application, use Angular.
Something
That
like
is the
Amazon, shopping, huh?
kind of. So big application, every product they are using Angular. I mean, but nowadays using React also you can create scalable application because React has also become very strong right now because of Redux and all those things. So using React also in our company we are using React only, React and Redux to create our product. So
Okay.
you can use React or Angular, doesn't matter. So right now the number of openings in React are more, so people are learning React. Earlier 5 years back it was more Angular, people were learning Angular. Again something else will come, people will move.
Yeah,
But
that is
the
there.
concept remains the same. Yeah, but Angular will take a little time to learn. React will be a little faster because of this components and everything. Because React is not completely in a modular fashion, it's a very flexible.
Hmm.
But it will take time for learning React also. It is not, master it. For mastering it will take time, anything.
Mastering anything will take time.
Yeah. But now we are moving to Next.js also, because Next.js takes care of the authentication, authorization, and scalable application. In React, people are not using React. They are using more now in Next.js. Yeah, Vijay, you were saying something, right?
No, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, so we are using Next.js for creating now bigger applications, larger application. Next.js, so it makes it more scalable.
Okay.
Okay, I think the end. Tomorrow we'll be doing some good animations, GSAP, or some good animations we'll do. So same timing,
Okay.
8:30 10. And day after tomorrow on Sunday, same timing, 8:30 10, we'll be doing DSN system design kind of questions we'll be solving. So that will be also more interesting. So I'll invite everyone. Let's see how many people will come. But yeah, that is how it'll be like this only for the next coming days. Okay, I'll upload this video in YouTube.
Okay.
Please go through it again.
Yeah.
Okay,
thanks,
Vijay.
Sanat. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the valuable insight.
Always pleasure. Okay. Bye.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye.